Okay.
Thanks.
Good to go.
Thank you very
You're
much,
welcome.
Vanessa. Well, Eric, I don't know if they mentioned, we'll have to have you come back because then we'll have retirement.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching it.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to everybody. Welcome. We will call to order the regular meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. This is Tuesday, November 14 of 2023. We would ask if you have any type of an electronic communication device, if you'd please put it on silent or vibrate. And as we always do, we'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance and ask that you remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Commissioner Spielvogel, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I will, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, would you be kind enough to call the roll?
Sure. Commissioner Spielvogel,
Here.
Commissioner Buick,
Present.
Commissioner Vogler.
Here. Thank you. We have a quorum. We always have time for public comment, both in a few moments as well as prior to adjournment of the meeting. If you wish to speak both times, you're welcome to. If you want to speak just one of the two times, that's fine. Or if you're just here to listen, that's equally fine. We do ask that your comments be related to county government matters, and that if you can, try to limit your time to about 5 minutes. We appreciate that courtesy. Next on the agenda would be row officer reports and comments. Our Chief Deputy Controller, Sarah Eppinger, is with us for bid openings in just a few moments, but anything else over and above that you have from the controller's office?
No, sir.
Thank you. So glad to have you with us. And that takes care of row officers. I'll open the floor for public comments at this time. Hearing none, we'll move forward. Under fiscal and contractual, we did receive a repository bid that has been rejected by the other two taxing bodies. This bid is for a parcel in Shenango Township, parcel number 31401300, located at 4352 Hollow Road. It was a $500 bid made by Mr. Jarrell Jones. Both the Shenango Township supervisors, excuse me, and the Shenango Area School Board have rejected this proposed bid. Vanessa, what number would this one be?
424.
424, thank you. So it now comes before us, as we've noted before, if one of the three taxing bodies rejects the bid is rejected. In other words, it necessitates having all three taxing bodies agree before a bid can be formally accepted. So we do have this proposal in front of us. I would certainly entertain a motion at this time.
So moved.
Second, and the motions to reject the bid, as did Shenango School District and the municipality.
We will vote to reject it as well separately. So
So
we are moving forward with the motion,
you're moving,
And
Is your motion
yes.
to reject it or to approve?
reject it,
you're moving to reject.
I
yes.
second the motion to reject.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
So you're voting yes to reject.
Yes.
Correct. So make sure we're on the same page.
The motion is on the floor. It's been seconded to reject proposed resolution 422, which in effect will reject the bid and put us on the same page as the other two taxing bodies. So if there are no other questions or concerns, I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Good
Motion carries, which
Yes.
rejects the bid.
Correct.
It has been rejected. Thank you both. Next on the agenda, we have a bid opening, and as I mentioned earlier, our Chief Deputy Controller, Sarah Eppinger, is with us, and if you'd like to come forward, Sarah, thank you. This bid opening is for the Quaker Falls Recreation Park Phase 2 out in Mahoning Township. We advertised appropriately for receipt of these bids. And a mandatory pre-bid meeting was held on October 31. And today we will be opening the bids that have been submitted. So Sarah, how many bids did we receive?
We received 3.
3, and to your knowledge, were they all received in a timely manner?
They were.
Okay, thank you. If you'd be kind enough to proceed with the opening, and as I'm sure you know, what Dave generally does is he'll tell us the name of the bidder and where they're located and the amount.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, the first one is Vermont Stone and Port out of Pittsburgh. Let's see, the bid total is $272,615. The next one is Horizon Construction Group out of Seneca, PA. The bid total is $199,950. And the final bid is SET Inc. out of Lowellville, Ohio. Oh, let's see, total bid price $31,528.27.
Can you repeat that?
This says $31,528.27. Seems right, but.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there is more.
I hope.
Yes, there's a number missing on the first page. I apologize. It is $315,282.70.
Those 3 bids then will be entered into the record. And what we generally do is table the bids to allow planning office, I assume perhaps our county engineer, and consultation with the controller's office to review them, and then at a later date come back to us with a recommendation. Before I ask for a motion to table, I'll see if Mr. Burek has any concerns. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Spielvogel,
No.
anything? Everything okay, Amy? Okay, may I have a motion then to table these bids?
So moved.
Second. Is there a second? Thank you both. On the motion to table, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you very much. Sarah, thanks for
Thank you,
joining us.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Yes.
Next on the agenda are the warrant registers from the controller's office, dated October 31, November 6, November 8, and November 9. I would remind you, we didn't meet last week because of Election Day, so we have a larger number than usual. I'll give my colleagues time to look them over, and I could entertain a motion to accept these documents whenever you folks are ready. And please feel free to ask any questions that you might have.
I do not see anything out of the ordinary, so I will move to accept them.
Thank you, Loretta.
I will second the motion. I do have one question.
Please, you're in order.
Maybe Joe knows. The bottom of the first page, Zix Corp.
That's in encryption for mail, for email services, I believe, Zix Mail, which would be highly used by probably CYS and MHBS. Along with other departments would be used as well.
Thanks. I just wasn't familiar with that company's name. Other than that, I'm good with the rest of the,
Thank you. That triggers, I'm glad Brian asked that question. You mentioned CYS, did I hear you say possibly MHDS?
MHDS, we would use this.
That being said, would a portion of the cost for this be covered by the Commonwealth?
Yes, and I know in MHDS, like our 6 mil is covered by the health choices program.
Understood.
And I'm not sure the amount nowadays, but that's 6.
Good to know. So that the entire amount here, part of it would be general fund, but part of it would be state dollars.
Yeah,
Is
it
that
could be all
safe to say?
state dollars. It
Okay.
could be,
Okay.
not knowing the cost of it anymore.
Okay,
That software just so the mail is more secure because the email confidential.
It's an encryption.
Okay,
So
That
you
makes
have
sense.
password to open up the mail.
okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Loretta, any other questions on your part?
No.
Thank you. Joe, appreciate your help. We have a motion and a second to accept the warrant registers as submitted. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Minutes and correspondence. We have the minutes of the October 31 Commissioners' meeting. My colleagues, please take time to look them over, and I could entertain a motion to adopt the minutes whenever you're ready.
So moved.
Second.
I thank you both. Any questions or discussion regarding the minutes? Hearing none, I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, written communications. We did receive one document dated November 3 from IAG Consulting. They are a municipal engineering firm based in Hermitage, and they are giving Act 14 notification, which is a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit application that they are submitting to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. The applicant name is Royalty Place LLC. The facility name is Royalty Place Subdivision. The facility address is 412 Old Youngstown Road, State Route 4007. The municipality is Union Township, Lawrence County. The description is the construction of infrastructure for the purpose of the creation of a new single and multifamily residential subdivision with a total land disturbance of approximately 73 acres. And it is signed by Ian Garfoley, principal engineer. Any questions or concerns? If not, I would entertain then a motion to accept this document.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Any further discussion? We'll do a roll call to accept it.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you very much. Commissioner reports and comments. Looks like I get to go first today. I simply want to make note of the fact that in the last 2 weeks, we've lost two gentlemen who at one point during their respective careers served in local municipal government. We lost Mr. Michael Ferrero from Bessemer Borough. At one point in time, he served on Borough Council, also served as mayor. He was for many years a music teacher, band director at Nika High. I went to school with his kids. The two of you having both been Nika High graduates, I'm sure you both knew Mr. Ferrero. We send our sympathy to his family. And then Dawn Little from Volant Borough passed away. Dawn was on Borough Council for a number of years up in the borough of Volant. So our sympathy goes out to both of those families. Mr. Burek, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, a great deal of my time the last 2 weeks was spent regarding election board activities. I'm pleased to say the election staff did a great job again. And yesterday, the canvassing board was sworn in and began their work. And we'll probably have an election board meeting here in about 2 weeks. And I'll give more updates at that time. Just a few other notes, things that I attended in the past 2 weeks. I attended the Lawrence County Planning Commission meeting in Shenango Township. I attended a meeting on public housing issues in Lawrence County with the Housing Authority staff and Representative Brown's office staff. I participated in the local emergency planning committee at the Lawrence County Department of Public Safety. I attended a webinar on the situation going on in Israel currently. And I attended a opioid education program held at Neshannock High School last week on Wednesday evening, put on by the Lawrence County Medical Society. They had excellent speakers there and re-emphasized the importance of Lawrence County residents being aware of what drugs are circulating in the county and the danger that most of the deputy coroner was there and stressed that most every drug in Lawrence County is laced with fentanyl in one way or the other, and that's what they're seeing in almost every overdose death. Last year we had 85 overdose deaths in Lawrence County. So far this year it's around 51, which is 51 too many, but at least we're on track right now to be less than last year. So we hope the continuing efforts of the all the folks working on that issue is making some positive difference. Those are my comments for today.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Spielvogel.
Thank you. Several of those meetings I was in attendance as well as Dan also. We had the election last week. The results are in there. It will be, Dan will be here for next year. I will not, but Dan Kennedy and Kristen Ryder will be here, and there'll be time to discuss more of that later on as the year goes on. But wishing everybody well in that endeavor. One of the things that I did promise to do was that the remaining time that I had was to continue to work on different projects that I had a passion for. And one of the things right now that just so very interesting to me is our 911 systems and the fact that our surcharge, the 911 surcharge, sunsets next month, or excuse me, in January of 2024. And although there have been numerous attempts to bring a bill forward, to bring something forward, the most recent one that came forward from the Senate was one that proposes to extend the sunset without any surcharge increase. What you as taxpayers need to know for Lawrence County and any other county around is that throughout the years, the cost of running our 911 center has increased and the surcharge has not. So therefore, in this situation that we are in right now, where we are having to fund more of our 911 systems, I believe, Joe, you said we were at 88% funded, and now we're down to what, 55 or 56% funded?
We're gonna be down there real soon.
Okay. Those monies have to be replaced by tax dollars. That is going to come from our general fund. The fact that this passed the Senate with no increase to kick the can down the road and have counties once again have to bear the brunt of funding a system that is already at a crisis point. We are having difficulty keeping our 911 telecommunicators because of the rates that other counties are offering surrounding us, the pay increases that they are having. That is an area that we are going to have discussion on in the next couple of weeks. But to know that the Senate voted to pass a bill to move it forward to the House floor, that there is no surcharge increase is totally beyond me. I would hope that those of you that are listening in, or those of you that may hear this, that certainly get on the phone and call our representatives as well as our senators and let them know that that's not acceptable, because that's more money coming out of your purse, because that's a multi-million-dollar operation. And if we're not getting the money from the state, guess where it's coming from? Our county residents' pockets. Thank you.
Just to clarify, the surcharge that you referenced is a surcharge on people's
Phones.
phone bills,
On the
right?
phone bills.
Thank you very much, Loretta and Brian. Appreciate both of you.
I feel as if I've stolen a bit of your thunder, Brian. I know you've worked very hard with this and have been very diligent in working on it, but And I just felt that it needed to be said. And our citizens need to be aware of it. They do, because that is not acceptable, not acceptable.
Thank you. If I could just follow up real
Of
quick.
course.
I had mentioned a month or so ago, I did offer that all of our four state legislators from Lawrence County and their staff to come to the Lawrence County 911 Center. A couple of them did personally, a couple of them sent their staff. I provided them information at that time. I emailed our County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania, who's been very active lobbying the entire General Assembly on this issue. And I emailed all four of our legislators again yesterday, Representative Brown, Representative Bernstein, and Senators Brooks and Vogel with this information. And I too am disappointed that the Senate took the action they did yesterday. So we'll continue to follow up on this issue. And
Yes.
to me, this is a critical public safety issue. It's a life and death issue. We all need and deserve to have a fully staffed, highly updated with technology 911 system. And I will continue to advocate for this. So thank you.
I thank both of you very much. Moving along to new resolutions. Mr. Grippo, would you like to join us? Mike Grippo is with our Children and Youth Services Department. And Vanessa, what number would we go to?
425.
425, thank you. Mike, you have in front of us a proposed resolution. I believe this would be for a contract with a provider known as Community Options, Inc. of Princeton, New Jersey, but I'll let you fill us in.
Yeah, this is a new contract. We have a situation with one child. This is the only place that will take him, but they actually designed a program to take him in their facility. So this won't happen until January, the child. He's been under our care for many, many, many years. And it's a situation where they want him to, where he's at, to be removed. And the judge ordered to get, this program. I've been working on this contract for about 2 months to get it, all the paperwork so I can get it in. But it's supposed to happen around January, and then again, they made a program specifically for this child.
We hear the term complex case used where the particular situations are extremely challenging in terms of finding a provider that will house these young folks. And I'm assuming this falls under that category of being a complex
Yes.
case, which
Yes.
you search far and wide to find a provider willing and able to accept them. And this is not unique to Lawrence County. This is happening not only statewide, but even nationwide. But let me see if the
And if I'm not mistaken, just because their business is located in New Jersey,
right?
I think the facility's still in Pennsylvania.
I see. Okay, that's
Without me checking.
That's good to know. Thank you. Commissioner Spillvogel, any questions for
No.
Mike? No, thank you. Commissioner Burek?
That was my only question. If their headquarters in New Jersey, where's the actual facility? But
I'm almost sure it's in Philly.
Okay,
Because when I do the resolutions, I look at the W9, and that's
Right.
what I.
okay.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. There are no other questions. I could entertain then a motion for approval of Resolution 425.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Any other concerns? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next resolution, number 426, also with CYS, is a purchase of service agreement with a company known as Computer Aid, Inc. of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Mike, you can maybe clarify. I assume they're not a provider per se, or do they deal with your computer network, or are they a provider?
No, they're not a provider. They don't deal with our computers. They're actually our training, our fiscal department.
I see.
Okay, and they go on video conferences and they set up, and they've been with us last year. It's a renewal.
Yeah.
So they help them work on any questions they have, the budget, any situation, like the state requires them to do and they're not sure how to do it. They're a consultant. Okay, and, they're $85 an hour, and there's a limit up to $7,225.
I take it you and the senior management have been satisfied with their service,
Yes,
to your knowledge?
yes,
Okay,
because we just renewed their contract again.
thank you.
But we cut back the hours, because as they are now to grasp on budgeting and stuff like
Right.
that, they don't need as much.
Thank you for that background. Mr. Burek, questions for Mike? No? Loretta, any questions? Okay. Could I have a motion then for us to take action on this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. This is Resolution 426. If there are no other concerns, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you, Vanessa. Mike, appreciate you joining
Thank
us.
you.
So thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving to you
Yes.
Yeah.
and your family.
Well, I might be back. No,
Well,
that's right, 2 weeks. Right after
That's right.
That's it.
So, yeah, have a nice holiday.
You too.
Thank you, Mike. Next on the agenda is proposed resolution 427. And before I turn it over to Commissioner Burek, I'll note that earlier in the year, the three of us felt that it was appropriate that we pull together a committee of folks from throughout the community to begin planning for the commemoration of the county's 175th anniversary of our being formed by the state legislature back in 1849. My colleague, Commissioner Burek, has been very kind in agreeing to chair this committee, and they've met on numerous occasions and have a lot of things planned. You may recall back in the summer, we had a visit from a gentleman from Little Beaver Township, Ian Baker, who has put together a proposed flag that would commemorate the county's 175th anniversary celebration. And I should also note, just on a side note, Mr. Baker was just elected to the Mohawk School Board. So he'll take office, they take office in December. Anyhow, that being said, I'm going to turn this over to Commissioner Burek for his comments regarding the request that the county adopt the logo and flag as the official flag and logo for the 175th anniversary. Brian, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have copies here for anybody who wants it. As you mentioned, we've had 3 meetings. You initiated the first meeting, and a group of citizen volunteers from Lawrence County have come together to plan some activities and an updated little booklet on the history of Lawrence County in commemoration of our 175th anniversary, which will be observed officially on March 20th, 2024. And as you mentioned, Ian Baker, a young man from our county, put a lot of time and effort into it. And this is the proposed logo that he came up with. And this has been reviewed by the committee and by several other interested parties, folks from the historical societies and libraries in the county. And he came up with 2 versions of the flag as well, and I'll explain. As everybody knows by now, on the ballot last week was the question of whether the South Newcastle Borough and Shenango Township should proceed with a municipal merger. And that did pass. However, that will not take effect officially until January of 2026. So we had come up with 2 versions, one with 10 stars for the 10 boroughs and another with 9. But I would like to have the Board of Commissioners adopt this logo there's 27 stars total. Large one in the middle is for the city of Newcastle. The 10 on the outer ring represent the 10 boroughs, and the 16 smaller ones represent the 16 townships. The slogan, "Don't give up the ship," was used. Obviously, it's from the Battle of Lake Erie during the War of 1812, and Captain James Lawrence, a naval hero, which was our namesake of our county. 1849 is our year of creation. The 2024 is our anniversary. And so I would like this to be adopted as the official logo of the county's 175th anniversary, and the flag with the 10 stars. And so I have copies for anyone who would like to see them, but I think this will be nice to commemorate our history. It's very important to preserve that history and pass it on and teach it to the younger generation so they appreciate Lawrence County. We have so many great qualities like everywhere else, we have our share of challenges, but there's so many great things about living and working in Lawrence County. And I would move for the adoption of Resolution 427 for the official logo of our county's 175th anniversary.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I will gladly second.
Thank you, Loretta, and I'll turn it over to you for your comments.
Thank you. Excellent work, Commissioner Burek, for your lead on the committee and the extensive meetings that you have had. I think it is commendable that this is happening and being done, and that we have somebody so young taking such an interest in our county. And hopefully it does generate some more activity from the younger generations to get involved with it. Thank you for the work that you've done. Absolutely.
Very good point. I concur with Commissioner Spielvogel. Appreciate your leadership on this.
Well, if I can just add one thing, as you know, you serve on the board of Visit Lawrence County, and Ginny Jacob and Janet Filatico,
Yes.
the director and assistant director of that agency, are on the committee, volunteering on the committee, and they're going to help promote awareness of the county's anniversary during all the great events in Lawrence County next year. So thank you for your service on that board, and I know you've worked hard for Lawrence County as well. Thank you.
Debbie, when I give you your packet, I've included those two documents that Mr. Burek referenced. They'll be in your packet.
Okay, great.
We have a motion, and I believe Commissioner
Yes.
Spielvogel offered the second for proposed resolution 427. If there are no other comments, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Buick,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you, Vanessa. Once again, Brian, thank you so much.
My privilege.
The next proposed resolution, 428, is a budget amendment. Amy, good morning. Amy McKinney is our county planning director, and it's always nice to have you with us. This proposed resolution talks about the Family First Housing Program through the Community Development Block Grant COVID funds, if I'm not mistaken, in the amount of $338,765. But I'll let you fill us in on the specifics if you'd like to do that.
Yep, this is CDBG CV3. Oh, I know. COVID money, but this is the discretionary pot. The discretionary pot is a competitive round that we applied for. We received over $1 million. This is for the Fruno YDC, old YDC site. Some of it was for public services, and then also some of it was for the Family First Housing Program. They had additional funds available. We had a need for some additional funds, so we made a request for the $338,765, and it was approved. The contract has been signed off on and approved. Dan and Loretta both signed off on that. So really all this is just adjusting the budget so that we can pay the amount to Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. So
Thank you for all your hard work on this.
Yes.
I'll see if Loretta has questions or comments.
Just comments that, the program is up and running. It's something that's unique for Lawrence County. We're very happy to have it, and look forward to finding additional ways to address the needs of our young families that are in service. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Loretta.
Mhm.
Brian?
Just, do we know, I think I heard there's one family has moved into that housing so
as far as
far?
I know, this is one. I
There's
don't know better.
one in,
Yes.
and they just had a referral meeting for a second. Now, after the referral meeting and acceptance, or the provider starts their interviewing, taking people out there, showing what they have to offer, and hopefully the family or the family bites on it. So,
There's a committee, I think you will sit
I'm
on
not
that,
actually on the committee.
and they review the applicants and make recommendations, so.
Just a couple of quick comments. I hope that they find additional families that can benefit from that
Amen.
program.
Yes.
And
Yes.
as you know, I think you were with me, Commissioner Vogler, it was bittersweet for me earlier this year. I got to go out and tour. I hadn't been back to that campus since I lost my job as a teacher at Youth Development Center Newcastle, but the facility looks good. They've done a lot of work. They retrofitted a couple of the housing units that the students used to live in at YDC are now used for this program, and the school that I taught in is now used for the Head Start, early Head Start program. So it's good to see the facility being put to good use, and I hope the program helps many people along the way. So thank you, Amy, for all your efforts on that.
Thank you.
And we may not know this, how many families can get into that grant unit? 6? Okay.
We have 6 separate units.
Okay.
2 of them are ADA accessible, right?
Yes, that's correct.
They're great.
Beautiful
Well
apartments,
done,
yeah.
put together, does not look institutionalized at all. To
That's
see, you
That's
would know going through those buildings and, that the institution look of things, it is not there now. Very happy, very pleased with the work that everybody has done to put this together, very much so. Let's get those things.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. That is proposed resolution 428 that we've been discussing, and I believe it's been moved and seconded. Am I correct on this?
It has not.
Oh, I'm sorry. May I have a motion for 428?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Now it's been moved and seconded. Any further final comments? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Do you have other things, Amy?
I have a transfer on there, unless you need me to stay for that though, but.
I don't think so. It's routine, and
Thank you.
if we need you, we can come get you, but I'm sure we'll be fine.
Thank you, and the repository property in Shenango Township, that is on the list of the demo.
Yeah,
We're definitely
yes.
demolished for, the redevelopment authority, so,
I see.
and it is in very, very bad shape, so I'm glad that everybody did not.
You know, now that you say that, it was so noted
It was noted on the
on the township
rejection.
document, condemned
They
on township
condemned it.
demo list.
Yeah, we have the documentation of that as well, so it's in bad shape, so,
Okay.
thank you guys for that as well.
Oh,
Amy,
sure.
as always, thank you. You take
Thank
care.
Thank you, you too.
Next on the agenda, proposed resolution 429. This is another budget amendment. Let me enter it in for discussion, then I might look to Loretta for a little bit of guidance here. This is taking $140,450 from the prior year balance of the opioid revenue fund account and earmarking it, same dollar amount, for the district attorney major equipment opioid expense fund account. And it does say Reason camera system. I'm gonna guess that you know something about this.
I do.
If you do, and if you don't mind sharing,
Just to
I don't
explain.
know how much we want.
well, whatever you're able to share.
Well, we do have that ability to distribute dollars as we see fit. That was one of the things that, when the opioid monies were approved, that counties, they were given directly to the counties to use as they see fit, because our needs, as opposed to Allegheny County, this is probably something that Allegheny County could not put together because of the cost, but because of the actions that our DA's office has taken in working with the task force. I'm just saying this in a very roundabout way, that this is something that will definitely be very useful in the future, consistently throughout many, many years.
In other words, we don't want the bad guys to know all the details. Is that a good way of putting it?
Correct.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Go ahead, Joe.
But, yeah, please.
One of the other benefits to this is that there is a reimbursement
Yes.
that the VA has secured. So although we're transferring the $144.50 from that account today, he will be able to in next fiscal year be able to put $75,000
Almost,
over the back.
almost half
Almost
worked out,
half,
yeah.
so.
That's great. That's very good news.
And if I may note as well, because we do have other applicants for the opioid monies. They are being reviewed, and the unfortunate thing is that we are not receiving our 2023 allocations until December. So we have met, we've discussed, but we've not gone any further than that. Although we know what our amounts will be, we just don't want to jump the gun and do any approvals in case something odd happens and then we don't get it. But we are moving forward. Those of you that are listening in that, have submitted different grant applications to the Opioid Advisory Board, those are still in process. However, we are waiting until we get those funds electronically transferred, and we have received notice that they will come either December, between the 13th and 15th of December. So therefore, we do want to wait before we allocate.
Thank you. Appreciate that
Thank you for allowing me
information.
to add that,
Well,
yes.
certainly. Mr. Burek, any questions or concerns?
No.
Okay. Now, once again, I think we need a motion, do we not? Thank you. Is there a motion for proposed resolution 429?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second,
Thank you both. Final concerns? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Please bear with me on these upcoming transfers, which there are quite a few. I know, in talking to some other commissioners, in some counties, they just quickly act on them. I'm a little more, I guess, too detail oriented that I think it's appropriate we enter them into the record. And so I appreciate your patience. I'm gonna walk us through
Yes.
these and, let me ask each of you. Well, the first few, we do have to assign numbers to.
Mhm.
And then further down, we have the group of transfers. But when I get to that point, if you're so willing, could we walk through them and then take one final vote at the end? Are you both okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, in the interest of time. So thank you. We'll begin with proposed resolution 430. And I should also note, it's that time of year, we're closing in on the end of the year. And as happens every year, the number of budget transfer requests that we get goes up. And so this is typical. That's nothing out of the ordinary. The first being resolution 430. This is for 3 offices that need additional funds for postage. And again, when we put the budget together last year, postage was at a certain rate. We were not anticipating the postage increase that took place mid-year. And now we're having to scramble to catch up with it. So the total amount is $4,800. All of it is coming from the commissioner's contingency. $2,500 is going towards the courts, $2,000 towards the patronery, and $300 towards the public defender, all of which is for their postage line items. This is proposed resolution 430. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Thank you both. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed resolution 431. Coming from the commissioner's contingency, there are funds needed for the tax refund invoice. Pardon me, this is in the amount of $1,236. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do either of you have any questions?
No.
No.
Thank you. I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 432. This all applies to the voter's office, and if I am reading this correctly, the full amount of the transfer is $49,698.09. It is all coming from the solicitor contracted line item. And it's going to the voter's office, $34,033.56 towards salary of inside registrars, $10,824.68 for salary of outside registrars, $3,908.87 for employee insurance and benefits, $1,052.09 for FICA expense, and $78.89 towards unemployment insurance. This is resolution 432. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Burek, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you chair the election board. Any concerns? I realize this is to cover expenses for the additional staff that we have to bring in at election time, but anything else over and above that?
No, unfortunately, the budget that was adopted last year was cut in several line items, so this is just putting back what was needed to cover the staffing of elections.
Thank you. Commissioner Spielvogel, any concerns?
No.
Okay, thank you. I believe I did get a motion, a second, so we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed resolution 433. This involves the courts. They are asking for a $15,000 transfer from solicitor contracted services and applying that towards the court-appointed attorneys line item. Is there a motion for resolution 433?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Any concerns or questions? Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. These are the ones now that, to which we do not assign a number, but I'm gonna walk through them. If at any point you have a question, just stop me. We can address
Go ahead.
it. First is domestic relations.
The entire alphabet.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Domestic Relations is asking for a $645 transfer from their contingency into their hauling refuse line item. The courts are asking for a $1,300 transfer into their maintenance and repairs. $1,000 of that is coming from their contingency, and $300 is coming from stenographer supplies. The jail is asking for a $15,600 in transfer. $1,600 is coming from the arbitration line item. It's being put into the background drug test line item. And then from their contingency, $14,000 into equipment lease and rental. The jail is also asking for a transfer of $50,827. Most of that is coming from arbitration, including $127 into vehicle expense, $2,000 into their telephone line item, $1,200 into uniforms, and $2,500 into salary. And then from the part-time guard line item, $10,000 is being transferred into maintenance repairs. Also from part-time guards, $15,000 into equipment lease and rental. And then finally, $20,000 from their contingency into contracted medical. Central Court is asking for a $250 transfer from their telephone line item into materials and supplies. Central Court is also asking for a $500 transfer from the court contingency into Central Court materials and supplies. Veterans is asking for a $2,230 transfer from their contingency into their office major line item. Adult probation is requesting a $642 transfer from their contingency into hauling of refuse. Judge Amodi's office is requesting a $500 transfer from their contingency into their staples line item. The tax claim office, here again, the whole issue of postage. They need to transfer $2,000 from contracted consultants into their postage line item. The district attorney's office is asking for a total of $7,306.77. The travel and training line item is where most of this is coming from. $1,006.70 into witness fees, $1,106.21 into staff overtime, $4,000 into materials and supplies, $1,004.34 into vehicle expense. From toxicology, $60.99 into staff overtime, as well as $128.53 from vehicle expense, also into staff overtime. Human Resources Office is requesting a $75 transfer from their association dues line item into maintenance and repairs. Under liquid fuels, the total amount of the transfer request is $60,580.62. All of this is coming from liquid fuels contingency. $15,000 is going towards county aid liquid fuels for the project in Union Township. that is actually dates back to 2009. And then $21,640.24 goes towards county aid liquid fuels for the completion of a project in Pulaski Township. And then $23,940.38 into county aid liquid fuels for a project completion in the borough of Wampum. The public defender is asking for a $75 transfer to the contingency line item into attorney fees. The planning office is asking for a $1,500 transfer from contingency into travel and training. The assessor's office is asking for an $80 transfer from their contingency into land and building rental for rental of access storage. The commissioner's office is requesting an $1,100 transfer from miscellaneous central services line item into land and building rental, again, for access storage. I'm assuming this is the mines.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Juvenile probation is asking for a $100 transfer from their contingency into office equipment. Going back to liquid fuels, under the bridge maintenance line item, we're taking $8,488.68 and transferring that into the bridge inspection line item. The controller's office is asking for a $450 transfer from their contingency into land and building rental, which once again is document storage at the mine facility. The coroner's office is requesting a $2,000 transfer from their Act 182 contingency line item into Act 182 vehicle expense. Recycling and solid waste is requesting a $500 transfer from their contingency into vehicle expenses. Catch my breath? Hopefully you don't want me to repeat it. Do either of you have any questions on these proposed transfers? Mr. Burek, it looks like maybe you do.
I do. Do we know, did the Wampum Underground increase their rates this year? Or simply that line item was simply not fully allocated? Because there were several for department.
We had actually thought that we could do more action with getting the amount of storage that we have down there to get a lot of those removed. And so individual department line items were cut. And unfortunately, we didn't make as much progress as we were going to, so therefore we had to pay for them to continue to repair. Yeah.
We're going, typically what was budgeted was the amount of the lease agreement for the documents to be
Yeah.
sitting on the shelf.
Right.
Now as we take stuff out and move more to electronic versions, when they take
Retrieval
books
costs.
down because of retrieval cost, it's really.
I'm satisfied on that. The only other one I was surprised, salary of warden was in there for a request. Why was that line item was not fully funded for the known salary after salary board last year, or was there an adjustment mid-year? Or?
I'm wondering if, when we had this, I'm not real sure, to be honest with you.
That's the only one I was surprised.
Yeah,
Normally salary, I didn't see wages or overtime.
Right.
Salaries are usually set.
They're
After
usually
salary
set.
board, the budget reflects that in every one. But not a huge amount, but I was just curious. I'm good, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Loretta, any other concerns on your part? Okay, would one of you care to make a motion to accept all of these transfer requests?
So moved.
Second,
Thank you both. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa.
You're welcome.
Dropping down to announcements. The Board of Commissioners will meet 2 weeks from today. Tuesday, November 28th at 10 a.m. It's a public meeting and it takes place in this room. We will not be meeting a week from today because we will be attending the State County Commissioners Association Fall Conference in Dauphin County. Now, in about 5 or 10 minutes as soon as we adjourn, we will convene the quarterly meeting of the Lawrence County Retirement Board, which will include the three of us, the county controller and the county treasurer. That meeting is open to the public, and again, probably in about 5 or 10 minutes, we'll start that meeting. And I'm looking at Loretta.
Yes.
To your knowledge, is the prison board planning to meet tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So at noon tomorrow, Commissioner Stillvogel chairs the prison board, and they do have a public meeting in this room.
Yes.
Let me see if there are public comments. Debbie, you make up the public today, so do you have any questions, Debbie?
I made a question, but I don't know the comments. But I can ask tomorrow.
Oh, okay, that's fine, and I have your packet for you. Thank you, Debbie. Closing comments from my fellow commissioners, Loretta.
None, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Burek.
Just one additional announcement, as chair of the county election board, I will reconvene the recessed election board meeting 2 weeks from today after the commissioners meeting. That'll be on November 28th, around 11 a.m. I will reconvene the election board meeting just to wrap up the 2023 general election.
Thank you, sir. Joe or Vanessa, anything that you need to add?
No.
Well, we made it in under an hour. I'm pleasantly
That was great,
surprised.
That was a lot of work. Thank you, Dan.
Well, no, thanks to both of you as well. May I have an adjournment motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all. Eric's gonna turn us off for a second. And then, Eric, probably in about 5 minutes, we'll reassemble for retirement.
Okay.